What's up, everybody? It's Industry Professionals. We're here to talk about some...
We got Jamie Kennedy in the house today.
Yeah, we got Jamie Kennedy. Today we're going to talk about some rather serious movies.
Yes.
It's a change of pace. I feel like sometimes we talk about, like, Garbo movies or, like, ones that... Like, you know, a couple weeks back, we had, like, the bro comedies where we did Dude, Where's My Car?
Or, like, dated or forgettable movies in some way or another.
Today we decided to change it up a bit.
Talking about Taxi Driver, Martin Scorsese.
We're talking about the golden age of 70s cinema. That goes Taxi Driver, Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and Amadeus. That came out in the 80s.
We're gonna be
get punked, everybody. We're talking about garbage as usual.
We tricked you.
You all got
tricked
duped.
you. We're talking about movies no one wants to hear about.
Yeah, we're talking about garbage. We're talking about epic movie, Meet the Spartans, and disaster movie.
There was a run of movies in the late 2000s that really were sort of the last era, I feel like, of this type of comedic movie before the internet just led to their obsolescence.
Yeah.
Of this lol so random pop culture referential comedy.
I mean, we could say it started with Airplane, I guess, because that was sort of the first of this breed.
Yeah, but I see the modern run as Scary Movie through.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as of, like, 1999, I think Scary Movie pioneered the big red text movie.
Yes.
We decided to skip out on the Scary Movie sequels, Date Movie, Vampires Suck, and some of the more modern ones.
I definitely do want to see them now, though.
Yeah,
I want to see Vampires Suck. And
we'll watch
Date
the
Movie
Starving Games. Don't worry.
The Starving Games.
That one was 2013, so that was
of course
way
it was.
past their
Of course
prime.
it was. Like it's gonna, and then the new one. There's gonna be a new one that's
we'll-
like Star Wars
we'll
Return of the.
Yeah, it's a really long title. So yeah. These movies are specifically made by two guys.
They really are like UHF, but if you just like
Suck the fun out.
I was gonna say like gave it concussions.
Jeez. Yeah, no, it's made by two guys, Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Two loathsome men.
Yeah, I do not want to meet these guys ever.
I do, but
not for the reasons of me wanting to meet a filmmaker.
No.
Yeah, no, these two guys took over the Scary Movie franchise, I think, as of the third one, once the Wayans brothers stopped being at the helm. And then they made Date Movie, Epic Movie, all these movies that just sort of parodied whatever the genre was.
Parodied like pop culture expectations.
Yeah.
But also, even more than that, during their like real run, drilling down to parody specific movies that like particularly permeated pop culture.
Yeah, like
Meet the Spartans.
Like, I think Epic Movie is what? Narnia? Mostly Narnia.
I think Epic Movie is hard because I think you're right, but I also think of the year that the word epic
Narnia
was
is pretty
used
epic
to describe.
movie, bro.
Yes, but the like lol so random epic era
Epic fail, yeah.
begins
with 2007?
I would say so.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Yeah. So this movie, I would say, is the second most grounded in the three we watched, just in terms of plot, because it does follow Narnia for the most part. Because like think about it.
It follows that and Willy Wonka. And
it follows Willy Wonka for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess Narnia. It doesn't follow Narnia.
Yes,
no,
it does.
Don't lie.
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
follow
No,
Narnia.
Structurally, it does, because they go into the wardrobe one by one, or I guess sort of one by one. They're in the snowland for the rest of it, and they're at the Goat Dudes.
Yes. Yes.
The Ice Queen.
Yes.
The Aslo. I mean, you get the 20-minute sequences where you got to deal with Jack Sparrow or Daryl Hammond's Jack Sparrow.
Okay, so the first thing is that the movie, the jokes are just the crudest, simplest reaches for objects of pop culture ephemera.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be specific to an epic movie.
It is not even that they are jokes so much as
yes.
Hey, remember this?
Okay, so this movie starts... we were wrong. It doesn't start with Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
No, I know it. It starts
with the Da
which
Vinci
is
Code.
such a good setting, because my favorite theme of this was references that are now like hyper dated, where you're
Yeah.
like, what? Why is
Yeah.
this the? So it begins in the Louvre with, and every reference is like the first thing you could think of for the thing, like
Yeah.
the easiest,
Yup.
lowest hanging fruit.
Hey, what could we do? Sounds great.
Yeah. So, like, you could guess what each of these things are. So, like, it's the Louvre, and it's like the Mona Lisa and the albino monk.
Oh, and Tom Cruise's hair. Or Tom Hanks's hair.
Yep.
And what's his name? Bill. Give me a second. Come on.
Oh, yes.
It starts out as the curator, David Carradine.
Yes. Yeah,
is
Bill.
The curator. Yeah, Bill from Kill Bill. And then we see the albino monk-looking dude.
Which he starts doing backflips. Yeah. He starts doing like some ninja stuff.
Yeah, has like a whip and is like whipping himself.
It's well, he does that in the movie.
Does that later?
Yeah.
Oh, he does that in
In Da Vinci Code. Yeah, he's like
yeah.
a self-flagellating guy.
yeah, cool.
But yeah.
but I bet you in Da Vinci Code that's not played by Kevin Hart.
Oh, I forgot the albino monk is Kevin Hart.
Can't forget that the albino guy is Kevin Hart.
So it's really what precedes is just a cavalcade of references and loosely associated ideas.
Yeah.
And like cutting room floor sketch premises.
Okay, so like just for a range as to what kind of references we have in epic movie.
You got to be steeped in the year 2000 or 2007.
It literally has to be anything from 2007, I
Yes.
believe. Because it goes like Da Vinci Code, Charlie
Yes.
Chocolate Factory, and you're like, okay, these are like...
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but get this. What if Willy Wonka was creepy?
And 8 people.
Yeah,
and that's what went to the candy.
Because remember how he's kind of creepy
Yeah.
and like there is a thing with the kid, and it's almost like that's why they made the movie because there is an inherent creepiness to Willy
Yeah.
Wonka and like.
But then it started I think the first reference to me where I was like, oh, they're not just going after like an actual parody of movies that are epic. They're just doing whatever is when Nacho Libre came in.
Yes, an extensive Nacho Libre sequence.
Yeah, and then the guy from Nacho Libre's in this.
Yes.
Which felt wrong. I didn't like that. I don't know his name, but it's the guy who's homeless in Nacho Libre. He's like, I don't want to say a main character because I don't think
no,
that
absolutely
is a thing
not.
in
He
this
plays
movie.
Mr. Tumnus, I guess.
Yeah, but he's pretty big. He's
Yeah,
got the
no.
whole MTV crib sequence. Brangelina's in it.
Brangelina is mentioned several times.
Brangelina's in all of the movies.
Just to give you like an idea of how like obsessed with its own particular moment it is in a way that anyone would know is not going to stand the test of time in any way. Like, I believe it's an epic movie. A character wakes up in a jail cell at one point, and next to them in jail is drunk Mel Gibson.
Yep, that's because then Jack Sparrow beats up drunk Mel Gibson.
Just and like for no
and they
reason,
refer to him as
just for-
drunk
yeah,
Mel
just so
Gibson.
that's like the kind of what you
Paris
can expect.
Hilton is in, I think, 2 of these movies.
Yes.
And then instead of Paris Hilton or Lindsay Lohan in Disaster Movie, it's Miley Cyrus.
Lindsay Lohan is still in it though.
Is she?
Lindsay Lohan might be in all of them or referenced in all of them
know.
because that's like this. That's its favorite. That's its perfect person to talk about.
Because like it's all like mean-spirited,
Yes.
like, hey, let's attack pop culture.
Yes.
And
let's
what's
attack
the
celebrity and like
easiest
celebrities
target?
are
dumb celebrities.
dumb, and like easy to make fun of, but like they just go for the lowest hanging
vicious.
fruit.
Yeah.
Of,
It's like, oh, what'd you have to eat today? An almond? Yeah, that's enough. You're set. It's like, oh, we get it.
Yeah, they
don't eat much.
and it would be if it was made in the year now, it'd be like Kylie Jenner is walking across the street, but she's got a selfie stick because she's so
and she's handing the Pepsi
and then she
and
gets
gets
hit
punched
by
in
a
the face.
car.
Yeah.
No, not even the Pepsi because that's like interfacing with something that she did or created.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In any way, it would just be she's self-absorbed and dumb, and
gets
then
hit
a
by a
car
car.
hits her.
Yeah, that's a lot of these jokes.
Yeah. It really feels like a 12-year-old being like, and then what if then there's Jack Sparrow and then Lindsay Lohan he's there and then shoots with the cannonballs but then she gets hit from the other and then a bunch of alligators eat the body and then the alligators spit it out because it's too gross and then like just
Yeah. Do you want to try to not go through the movie, but like talk about the references, because I'm looking at some and I'm like, I don't remember that.
I think I'll remember all of them.
We watched this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About.
I think I'll remember all
right,
of
fine.
the...
Give me the Christmas Story reference. Because I wrote that one down. It's an epic movie.
I don't know. I'm Jewish.
Ah,
You'll poke your eye out, kid.
Kanye v. Bush.
I do remember that one. Because they are Mr. Tumnus. There's a sequence where Mission Impossible, they go into Mr. Tumnus's eyes.
Nicely done.
And then it's playing some stuff about like hurricane relief.
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah. And,
which had just happened.
And like I don't think people had realized maybe how bad it was yet. And then there was a scene where a Kanye West analog was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people, but
yeah, that was it.
Is that it? Did he really say that, or was it doesn't care about fawns?
I don't know. Honestly.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna say, if anything, it was that line, but similar. They reference. All right, so Cal Penn is in this movie of Harold and Kumar fame, and then several times in this movie do they reference Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. They literally show a White Castle, and then they also call him Kumar on a couple accounts.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird.
Another type of... I know I'm skipping forward, but another type of thing that they do in terms of references is just take things whole cloth that like are just another thing and just point to it.
Yeah.
So there's a Borat in this movie.
Oh, my God.
And the Borat just says the Borat lines,
very nice.
My wife, very nice.
Yeah, all he says are lines from Borat,
which like, you can't do that. I feel
it's like literally, it's not a parody. It's just you're dressed up
like,
as Borat,
wrong.
telling Borat.
That's
it's
wrong.
like an Elvis impersonator shows up.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything, and it's just like, Borat is in the situation with everybody else too.
But even worse, I feel like Borat was not in any of the situations. You know what I mean? Borat wasn't integrated in any way into anything that happened. He was just like, now at Borat scene.
But that was still the joke. It was like, hey, we just got out of the wardrobe. Borat's here.
Yes.
Or, hey, we're meeting everybody, and Borat's here. Very nice. We got to a point where there was a Superman Returns reference, and then Ben was like, I think I got it. I think I can start predicting the parodies that come in now because I'm getting a sense for it. And then out of nowhere, Ashton Kutcher looked like comes in and it's like punked.
You just got punked.
And then Ben was like, I can't. There's nothing like it.
That was when I realized I'm like, no, you're trying to
you can't predict
apply
this.
a set of rules to something that is just so much dumber than you even.
There's like jokes about Sudoku.
Which that actually I remember. That was a thing of the time, being like, "Oh, you're doing Sudoku."
That's cool.
Yeah,
but he's doing it with his pee.
Yep, and
some
and
snow.
just like so it transcends even movie references to literally be what is a reference that is of the moment right now.
Yeah.
And
hey, what did you see on TV 20 minutes before you came to the theater?
Yes.
We're going to make fun of that.
Yes, which is why, and I think nowhere is it better embodied than the scene in which they're like, hey, I got to TiVo this.
The TiVo scene was
There's
wild.
a TiVo scene.
Yeah, the screen has then a TiVo filter over it.
That classic
little noises and everything. You
layout.
Know what it is.
The TiVo layout that we all know and see every day.
You want to know what's also kind of weird that I'm thinking about it now? Flava Flav parody is in all three of the movies, yet I feel like Flava Flav was before this time.
Yes, and that's the reason for this is I think that there's a subcategory of pop culture things that are referenced far beyond their relevance because they're instantly recognizable.
Okay.
And Flava Flav has so many defining features. I think a big part of it is like defining features. So like this could, I don't know if there was like a Kiss reference in this, like the band Kiss, but like that will always be recognizable. True. And even if you're like a kid who doesn't get it, you're like, I know that that's a thing.
Yeah, I know Kiss is a thing, and they look like that.
Yeah, they look weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's like Flava Flav, Kiss, probably like Michael Jackson.
Although I think Jackson's in Disaster.
I think I think everybody still knows who Michael Jackson is and recognizes him, but like in like
you have
30
like a
years
creepy...
or something, everybody will know who.
Yeah,
that's a guy.
Really skinny nose, pale, black hair.
Yeah. So I think there's just a subcategory of things that always get referenced.
I think Star Wars is referenced in every single one of these. And
it's in clever ways, like having there be a Chewbacca.
Literally just like, hey, stormtroopers are here too.
Yeah. God, these movies, like...
It's rough. Because, like, all right, let's compare them to better parody movies.
Sure.
I even would go as far as to say, like, Scary Movie 1 is a better parody movie. Because I actually enjoy that. I think a big difference between this and what makes one work is... like a movie like Scary Movie or Airplane, they have love for the genre that they're making fun of. They're at least rehearsed and seen a lot of it and then can poke fun at it. Whereas I feel like these are just like, let's just make fun of it regardless if we've even seen it.
Well, and I don't think it even has anything that it's making fun of. It's not even going after anything or Scary Movie
digs in pretty hard on Paris Hilton.
Yeah, but I mean, Scary Movie is scary movies.
Yeah.
But
they'll still like make fun of like the Scream Mask, and then the Scream Mask is smoking weed, and it's got like a face. So like it takes elements of it and like will jump on that and like make fun of cliches within the horror genre.
Yes.
And
but
sort of
but
like
there's
point
nothing
things out while using comedy to do so.
I don't think it ever points anything out.
These movies or Scary Movies?
These movies.
Oh, okay.
I don't think ever point anything out or ever even satirize anything. It is never something recognizable, but with exaggerated features to be a satire or to be a parody. Yeah. It is a statement of the most brazenly initial thought anybody has about anything.
Yeah, I think that's what I was definitely just trying to get at. It's just there's no cleverness. There's no ounce of thought.
You know what it would be? It would be like a parody of something where it's like Mario, but the mushrooms are like drugs mushrooms.
Make him trip. And then he trips and runs into a wall.
And then you're like, yep, that's exactly like I've seen it maybe 200 times expressed in some form or another.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that you actually went for this level of just phoning it in.
You want to hear something that sucks?
How much money these made? How much money did these make?
Okay, so the budget for actually...
is nothing. It's got to be nothing.
$20 million for Epic Movie. Remember when we looked up the Disaster Movie budget and we were both shocked that it was $20 million?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Meet the Spartans goes up 10, which is wild. But yeah.
Where does that go?
I think actually Meet the Spartans makes sense to up it 10 million because that's way more set design and like, hey, we have to have a somewhat focused
They save so much on actors though because so many of the prominent characters are just lookalikes.
Yeah, they're lookalikes or just like,
or people who like want to be on a sketch show.
Yeah, exactly. Some comedian who's just trying to make it like Cal Penn
or Ike
or
Barinholtz.
Kevin Hart or Ike. We'll get to Ike.
My man Ike.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this movie had a $20 million budget and made 86.9 at box office. I think these movies were only released in America as far as the research I've done.
I thought we determined that was not true. I was like, there's no way these did well overseas, and then we looked it up and they actually did.
Oh wait, no, I think you're right.
Because I remember thinking like
wrong.
In not America, these would like make less sense because it's so referential.
I think the returns on overseas was just like abysmal. Like it did not make anything. I could look up actually that was just for Disaster Movie. And I don't think a Disaster Movie made money at all in general. Okay, no, that was the worldwide number for Epic Movie was 86. We're wrong. Okay, so 45.7% was American gross. 54.3% what came from overseas for epic movie.
I want names of countries.
This movie made more money elsewhere than it did here.
I want names of countries, and in those countries, look, I have never called for American military intervention.
Oh no. Hey dude, we are still 45% of that number.
Oh, and you
that's,
know, there are enemies among us too. Like
45% of our own country. No, I'm not going down that road. Sorry, everyone. So yeah, I think that there is worldwide appeal. In my mind, that's just like some other country being like, haha, American culture's stupid.
yes.
You know, at least that's probably the angle I would take.
Yeah, and also, you know, American culture is world culture for you know, in many ways.
Was Dr. Phil was an epic movie?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there was a reference to Dr. Phil.
Oh, they never actually.
They said you got to have your Dr. Phil moment.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was it.
Can we talk about how this movie will have, like, you know, physical references where you're like, that's stupid, but then out of nowhere they'll mention like Liberace.
Yes,
or something
like
an actual joke.
Reminds me of Monica Lewinsky.
Like, yeah, like stuff that just comes out of nowhere that they mention.
Yes, that they
It's
just
so
say.
weird.
And I think the most egregious instance of that is at the very end.
That's what
of
I was
the
leading
movie.
up to.
Yes,
I'll
okay.
sign you up for that. So yeah, this is very much a 2007 joke.
Oh man.
So basically what happens is it follows the Narnia thing, and they grow old in Narnia, and then they find the wardrobe again, but before they do, they each have a line. I think one's like, oh my god, it's the wardrobe, and the next person says something funnier.
Oh, are they like peeing?
They're peeing, yeah. That part's not important.
Okay.
I didn't want to include that. But
'Cause
yeah.
I thought Cal Penn got kicked in the crotch before delivering this line.
Of course he did. But like I remember they each said something, and
Yeah.
then he says,
He keels over. He's like, "Oh, Chuck Norris rules," for no reason.
for no setup. Chuck Norris has not been mentioned.
You can't do these things.
It was literally like, hey, Chuck Norris jokes are funny
You can't
right now,
do these things,
and we're gonna go ahead and just say Chuck Norris.
you can't just say a thing like that. You can't just be like, we're gonna have Borat, and he's gonna be like, my sister is #1 prostitute, and it's like, yeah, that's the line from Borat.
Ben, I'm sorry, $86.9 million. People paid to watch this stuff. People.
Didn't you pay to watch this stuff?
I rented it on demand. I did not go to theaters. I'll have you know, my mom did not let me see this in theaters. I was
And you were like, that's
that sucks.
yeah. You're
Why,
like,
Mom? This movie looks hilarious.
you're not letting me participate in a cultural moment,
Oh God. Yeah, exactly.
Mom.
And, you know, but my mom laughed just as hard as I did at the time when we watched this. So she was an adult who enjoyed this.
So she was complicit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We all took part in this, Ben.
Yeah, it's so.
Because think about it. Hold on. If you had seen this in the ripe young age of 6th grade, would you have laughed very hard at this? Don't tell me you wouldn't. Because I know you would still find things funny just by being like, man, this is cheesy.
Probably. I mean, probably.
But you would probably like be holding back laughter because you didn't want to be laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was below you.
Absolutely. I don't know. I have no idea. My guess is that you're probably right.
Yeah.
And because it's the playing out of the sort of scenarios that you think of when you're in, you know, 5th grade, where you're like, what if Batman, you know, kicked
Hannah Montana and the nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like these just random neurons firing off.
Yeah.
You just crave every impulse to be sated.
Yeah, like just violence.
Yes.
Just like sudden
Violence
bursts of stupid-
towards cultural figures that you deem to be lame and that you
Yes.
dislike.
Yeah, like Paris Hilton getting a piano dropped
Yeah,
on her.
yeah. Because that's what you get.
Yeah. So I think
I actually think that I'm of two minds, because on the one hand I'm like is why, because of our culture wars, we are primed for a 2019 disaster movie. But my other thought is the internet doesn't allow these to exist anymore, because all combinations of ideas about things have already happened. Like, you've already seen a video where it's like, what if Thanos was in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
And then pants on the ground.
Yep.
Like,
no, yeah, like exactly. Like any reference that's made in this movie nowadays would just be like a meme for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, and it would just be.
It would run its course. It would burn out in, a week at this point.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yep, baby shark.
Yep.
Ha ha ha.
Yodeling kid.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
I bet you if Yodeling Kid was a thing in 2007, all over this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Anything else you want to say about Epic movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So a common
Kung Fu Fighting Place. Hold on,
Yes,
I just read
yeah,
that.
which is like which is not only this show's theme song, but
I don't like that. I don't like that as an idea.
but also just the symbol that you're at the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
comedically, as if the song Kung Fu Fighting.
No,
plays.
dude, I watched 45 minutes of Master of Disguise the other night.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that
Do you want to be a master of disguise?
I want to be the man. No, but like, bum, bum, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. I was like, is this really in a movie? Like, my jaw dropped.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Epic movie is kind of full of that stuff. It's great.
It is, yeah.
Like, ooh, don't you wish your girlfriend
Yeah,
was
yeah.
hot like
Yeah,
me?
absolutely.
Yeah.
They're like that's the same reaction
Tell
I
me
had
what you
when
want, what you really,
in
really...
Encino Man it plays I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred,
Yep.
where I'm just like, this has become so abstracted in my mind that to actually see it unironically in a movie sort of blows my mind. To see it in not a parody or in like a parody of commercials.
I think I'm Too Sexy is actually not one of these songs because
I think you're right.
Because I think that
that's fair.
song actually gets applied in more areas where it's appropriate, or you're
Okay,
like,
but if you saw like a movie, if you saw like Norbit and it had like Milkshake by Kellis.
it does, and that's where I found out about the show. No, I found out the song Milkshakes and Dodgeball.
Okay, but like
Sorry,
like
everyone.
Milkshake is definitely one of these
Yes,
songs.
yes, it is. Yeah. Most Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, this
Like, if
movie
you heard
also
Pump
had
It-
okay, so this movie also had a lot of like songs that weren't that.
All these movies did.
Yes, so like they had like
The Mission Impossible was
Harry
like
Potter.
dun 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 dun. Like, it's
Dun,
not.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, exactly,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it was like all just off
Yeah,
enough
yeah,
to
yeah.
not be copyright.
Same with there's a Harry Potter. There's a pretty clever Harry Potter
Yeah.
sequence in this, which is
Don't-
what if
Don't say clever.
What if the Harry Potter wizards were old
And trashy.
and weird? I guess they're like
trashy, I think.
la 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 casting spells.
But then the other one's
casting
like
spells.
smoking cigarettes, and then he's like, "Let me put on my invisible cloak," and starts like assaulting somebody.
It's very much the wizards in this reminded me of Tom Green.
Yeah, no, that's-
But and then
especially
there's a
the one
scene where
guy.
they're sword fighting, and then without realizing it, all the Harry Potter characters are walking up and getting stabbed with a sword and then getting killed.
Take that, McGonagall.
It's like that was to me the most like fourth
Yeah.
grade
Yeah.
like kid just riffing.
No, yeah, because it literally is like, hey, this thing, they're all dying
like
stupidly.
kid who crushes up Smarties and snorts them.
or smokes it, Yeah. I hear
Being
you.
like, what if all you stabbed all the
Dumbledore
characters
guy
from
right in the
yeah,
chest,
Yeah,
Hagrid
Dumbledore
too.
got stabbed with a sword.
yeah. Yeah, no. Quite
And I shoot
literally.
lasers out of my eyes, and it like kills like everyone.
This
That
movie-
is weird
it
that
was
when you're
also
a
a
kid you think so
January.
much about like killing things.
Well, yeah, because it's a concept you quite haven't grasped, but you've seen it in stuff as cool.
Well, I think you've seen it in everything before you're exposed to it. Like, do you remember like? And it's probably not a thing that you can pinpoint, but like the first exposure you had to like death in media, where you were like, oh, this is like the most serious thing possible.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that movie.
That's weird, but go on.
it's a bit of a spoiler because I know you haven't seen this movie.
What are movies that you know I haven't seen?
You made a bit about not seeing this movie, and all you know is that it's so sad. You're like, oh man, Bridge to Terabithia, the bridge, it's so sad.
Oh no, the bridge is gonna get me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
I've never seen the Bridge to Terabithia. I just like making fun of people who are made sad by it because I know that whatever happens in that movie, I'm sure is emotionally affecting.
Yes. And when I was like 10 years old or whatever,
Okay.
I remember watching that and being like, ooh, I've seen death in a lot of movies, but
like,
none of it has
you've
ever
probably
made my
already
stomach.
seen several hundred deaths.
Yeah, no, like I've seen like the Terminator,
Yes.
Predator, like like Arnold Schwarzenegger killing people, but like something serious happens and then you feel a feeling in your gut,
and you're like, oh, that's weird that person's gone forever.
Yeah. So yeah, so when you're a kid, like it's very meaningless to you, and it kind of becomes a joke.
Yes, absolutely.
This movie harps on that.
Yeah. And like that's not to
Borat
say, like,
dies in
and
the
I'm
end.
not saying I'm not like you
Death-
shouldn't joke
death
about
can be
death.
funny. Yeah,
like of
no.
course. Like come on.
I still see jokes where like people die and that's funny.
Yeah, no, and like they can be used hilariously.
It's just
like,
so cheap.
Yeah, it's
so cheap and
it's
that's
so
it.
like really?
Like in Burn After Reading, the death scene that makes me laugh, but it's also like probably like a shocking laugh because there's a point to it rather than Borat got run over by Jack
like
Sparrow
in
his
like
wheel.
a grindhouse movie or something, if somebody dies in like a funny way, like
it's
that
like
it happens.
oh yeah, that's true.
But these are just like the joke is what if that happened and then they got killed and you're like that's just not anything.
Yeah.
So-
Samuel L. Jackson throws somebody out of an airplane with snakes
and
on
he
him.
says, guess what he says? He says he's tired of these snakes on this plane because everything takes the one moment that anybody remembers. So
However-
Superman gets shot, and it's the scene where Superman gets shot in the eye.
But he actually gets shot in the eye, and he's like, "Why'd you do that?"
Yeah, that's not
All
the worst.
No. The Samuel L. Jackson thing was not the worst because he kept saying it, and then he's like, "That's all anybody wants me to do anymore is just say I've had it with these snakes on this plane." And I was like, maybe they're making a point because that is all anybody knows from that movie.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson's famous line. From
I don't
that
think
movie.
that's because I almost feel like it's a meme movie that no one saw.
Snakes on Plane.
Yeah.
I think nobody saw it because we weren't old enough to.
Yeah, but I don't think many people saw it. I think everything people know about that movie is from the
That line.
trailer.
Yeah, and then
that's the only.
But then the epic movie then goes, "That's all anybody knows is," and that's
Sure.
a little bit. It's a shred of self-awareness.
Yeah.
I think is a little bit. Hey,
It's a little bit canceled out when he shoves the woman out the plane, and then it cuts to the street level where Paris Hilton walks out of a store and says, like, "I'm so hot,"
she literally says, "I'm so hot,"
and then gets crushed,
Yeah. So yeah.
and the audience cheers. Like,
And the crowd goes wild. This was released first in New Zealand apparently, so I think New Zealand loves this movie.
X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yep, I skipped over that one. Britney Spears, James Bond, Talladega Nights.
There was just a pit crew that was
With
just,
Wonder
that was,
with Wonder Bread, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't even
Somebody had a
anything.
BlackBerry at one point, which is funny.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a.
Yep. All right, we got it.
There was a reference to, and this would be like if you asked me, like, hey, okay, the year's 2007, like, what would be like things that are like parody,
thing,
like,
yeah.
but that would probably never make it into a movie. The SNL Lazy Sunday rap, the Andy Samberg, Chris
imagine
Parnell.
if the Pirates of the Caribbean had a lazy Sunday.
And you know how
Release
that's the
the
chronic
Kraken.
what calls the Narnia? This is the Pirates what of the Caribbean. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But they just do the whole
Why?
spiel.
Hold on. This movie was parodying Narnia. How come they didn't do anything with that? That
Because do you think that would have been like,
objectively would have been smarter?
I don't know.
No, maybe I probably would
'Cause
not think it's
I
smarter.
mean, I also wonder if that's like,
too connected
yeah.
and thought out.
Although, but this movie isn't afraid of like being too.
No, I'm thinking like, hey, that's not just like two random things put together. That's two things where it's like one's kind of harping on the other. Like the Lazy Sunday's funny because they're like Chronicles of Narnia. Like that's what we're doing. Whereas
Why is Lazy Sunday funny?
It was. Anyway. But like in this one, they're like,
is it because they're rapping about things that rappers don't talk about usually?
Probably. Like, hey, I woke up at like noon and I'm hitting up my buddy to go see a movie.
Yeah. But
That's
everyone
what's
knows
up.
it. Everyone knows the words.
Because, like, it was funny.
Okay.
And maybe it still is. I haven't seen it in a while, but
I don't think it's
most
funny.
Lonely Island has stale.
That's not
over
Lonely
time.
Island.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so.
It's an SNL digital short song by Andy Samberg.
Yeah, but I don't
Wilmer
think it's
Chacon,
Lonely
and
Island.
Keith. It's on their YouTube channel. It's on the Lonely Island's YouTube channel. Am I looking this up? Is that... Oh. The Lazy Sunday artist. The Lonely Island featured artist Chris Parnell. Album Incredibad. It's on a Lonely Island album. You can't.
I own that album.
I own that album too.
I own that CD.
I have the
think
physical
it's in my dad's
CD.
glove compartment right now.
Yeah, it's on my dad's CD rack somewhere back home.
The ET finger.
Yeah, and all three of them. Yeah. Yeah, I bought the rest on iTunes after those
we
came
like
out.
Sports.
I remember liking one a lot.
Who said we're whack?
I like the one where they're talking about the ugly chick, but then it just turns into a Chex Mix commercial.
I
You're
don't
sexy
even
and you're
remember that.
spicy like a bowl of Chex Mix.
Sure.
Ambidextrous, no point, because I know you eat nothing but Chex Mix. That one was for Billy. Anyway, do you just want to move on to Meet the Spartans?
I'm gonna run down the list of references.
In Meet the Spartans?
I
I think we covered most of them. That's the thing.
Dr. Phil.
No, we got them all.
Pirates of the Caribbean 2, where there's the scene where
Oh,
Davy Jones
Oh.
is there, and Davy Jones like DJs on some turntables
with his tentacle instead of playing the piano. Yeah,
Kung Fu Fighting, TiVo, Chuck Norris, and roll credits.
with like 5 minutes of bloopers.
Yes.
All right,
Every blooper was funnier than every.
yeah, every blooper reel
Because
like,
it was
I
stuff
enjoyed.
like, Willy Wonka's cape got caught in the door closing. And I'm like, that's something that isn't just
yeah.
bottom of the barrel, like,
'Cause you
just
also
garbage, weak ideas.
I think part of it is that you then see comedic people then not have to go on the script and
Yeah.
then be comedic.
Yeah, which is sort of
something
the
you
tragedy
don't-
because I bet all these people, like Kevin Hart, like I don't find particularly entertaining, but is absolutely funnier than this.
Can work in a comedy. Yeah, and is better than this.
And Cal
Penn,
Penn, obviously.
Heather Graham.
Yeah, a lot
the
of
guy
these
from
people,
Nacho Libre.
So like,
Ike.
The fault is Ike. We'll see.
Ike is funny.
But like,
Whatever, dude.
It really is a lot of people trying to launch their careers and being really pigeonholed into some pretty garbage.
Well, I think a lot of it is like, hey, if you're a rising comedian, you would 100% be in a feature no matter what it is. Like, you're like, hey, this movie's going to be in theaters. Like, there's no point in me not doing this and taking the money, even if I think it sucks. Like, there's no way Cal Penn was like, yeah, this is better than Harold and Kumar. Yeah, he's probably the one.
Like, this is the next
Yeah.
smart career move for me.
Well, I also think Epic Movie was still at the start of these. So
Yes.
they weren't as known as being as terrible. At this point, they were just
they
successful.
taper off in who's in them, except for my man Ike, who he's a ride or die.
Well, Crispin Glover plays Willy Wonka in Epic Movie.
And
David
does
Carradine.
an admirable performance.
Crispin Glover is
Yes.
actually probably the funniest part, just because you're like, I want to see
You're
a
like,
creepy
this guy
Willy
is
Wonka
creepy,
movie
yeah.
with Crispin Glover. Yeah, because like, I think they still had like, hey, we were making bank off Scary Movie, and we can still probably get actors to be in them. Turns out they really couldn't. Come Meet the Spartans, but yeah. Do you want to talk about Meet the Spartans?
Well, so ends the year 2007.
Yes. So ends the year 2007.
2008.
Fast forward almost exactly 1 year, 1 day less than a year, January 2008, we're getting another Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer production, but this
Joint.
time it's not anything with movie in the title.
No.
It's Meet the Spartans.
And because this is you're dipping your toes in the water. It reminds me almost of like the first when they were like Mockingjay is going to be in 2 parts.
Yeah.
Of like this first like, can we get away with this? Can we get away with
Remember
doing
when
what we're about to
Divergent
do?
didn't?
Yeah. Where it's like, can we shift up the business model to like literally just parody a big movie that comes out each year?
Yeah.
And the answer is Kind of
for a little bit.
Yeah.
This was just as successful, or maybe less because it had a bigger budget, but it made $84.6 million. Still made basically the same amount of money. People saw it. And,
It's weird though, because it is like a deeper read of
it's a
300.
It's a harder parody. It stays true to the parody genre.
Yeah, to the point where it has like scenes with this weird cracked people.
Yeah, no, like,
and
you
like
know, the humpback.
Yeah,
and,
like
like
scenes
the wife cheating
like
on
history
him.
will not remember these.
Yeah, no, it's all very detailed, and like the Oracle. Who's
Yeah. Like nobody's gonna remember these things from the movie 300. What they're gonna remember is this is Sparta.
But if you had just seen 300, you would probably
yes.
And I think at the time, a lot of people saw 300.
Probably most people.
Yeah, you know. So in this movie, in terms of famous people, they got Carmen Electra this time around. She wasn't in the last one, right? No, she was not. And then they got the fat guy from Borat. That's about the extent of the celebrities in this movie.
Wait, I actually have this image here, this nifty IMDb page.
Yeah, let's open it.
Is this Meet the Spartans or is it? No, that's Disaster.
Yeah,
Movie.
you got to sit on that for a bit.
Yeah. Oh man.
So like, you know, Meet the Spartans, obviously a 300 parody, but don't worry, there's no shortage. If anything, they probably go after more TV shows.
Yes.
In the Disaster Movie, there are TV
in
shows.
often the same way.
Yes. But like, you know, there's like American Idol, America's Next Top Model.
It's a lot of
Dancing with the
something
Stars.
happens and then it turns, which I feel like is actually an extremely old.
And then you get judged by Simon Cowell.
Gag where it's like, you know, somebody falls down a bunch of stairs and then it's like, oh, you hold it up like it's scoring the Olympics. But the Russian judge gave it a 4. Russian judge.
We get more Brangelina jokes. This time they're just adopting the babies who get thrown off the cliff because, get it? They adopt babies.
Do you remember the context for these?
Yeah, I remember. Here's the thing, Ben. This is a movie that I've seen 10 plus times.
What was the context for Shrek?
So that was opening scene. They have babies that they're throwing off the cliff like in 300, and then one of them Shrek, and it throws up green on him.
That's so dumb.
And he's like, I'm a baby. You know.
That's awful.
Nah, dude, that's hilarious.
Because I was like, when did it, was there like this is my swamp? No, it's a thing that looks like Shrek.
That throws up. Green.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. You're watching Meet the Spartans. Okay, I feel like I should explain.
This is like Lil Xan music. Where
This
it's
is like
your brain is just burnt out and you're just drooling.
This is like Logic's Tarantino tapes. You know what I'm saying, man? Where it's like, I wonder what that means. And then everything on the album is just ripped from other albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually,
more
that's
famous
very
stuff. More popular and
so
highly regarded.
Another
stuff.
one that this will be important for some stuff that's gonna come up in this one. But in Epic Movie, there was a scene where the White Witch is explaining our plan, and then the joke is that a character says, "Isn't that just the plot from Superman Returns?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole time.
So the thing they do is literally like something about that saying the specific full name of the movie or sequel is especially hilarious to me because that's even less timeless than
Chuck Norris rules.
It's like, man, isn't that like the thing from Tron Legacy? Like,
yeah. No, yeah. I think Epic Movie does this the least, but I think we really started to notice it with this one.
Yeah.
Is that when they reference something, they say the title of the
they
thing
reference
out
the
loud.
make and model. Like, yeah.
Like they go like you know, a penguin shows up and starts dancing. The main character goes, "Hey, it's Happy Feet." You know?
Oh my god. I think one of the best was he's like, Spider-Man 3, it's you. Or like something like that.
It's Spider-Man 3. Yeah, no, like very much. And it's like, all right, boys, let's stomp the yard.
Yeah.
You know?
That was like maybe the
Shout out to Stomp the Yard. Everybody remembers that movie.
That was maybe one of the only more integrated. I think that and the MTV Cribs were like perhaps the most
MTV
integrated
Cribs with the Scarface, and it's
like they aren't good, but they at least are built into what is
Scarface,
happening.
I thought was not
Scarface
bad.
was the one one where we're like, is this actually smart?
Yeah, are they going for this or is it just this?
Yeah,
probably just this.
Probably.
But yeah. There's the Casino Royale scene where he gets tortured, but A dog eats his nuts.
It's the scene, and it's
and Ike is there.
I would even say that if you
Ike is Mads Mikkelsen.
that like all of these things, what I won't say, I don't know if you can. I'd say you have maybe a 70% chance of guessing each scene in this movie. But if I tell you the movie, you will almost 100% be able to guess the scene or concept that is parodied.
No, yeah, that's fair.
For example, if you were to say,
Would you just give me a thumbs up?
no?
I just got a thumb up on Messenger from you.
Oh, then yes.
Nice, dude.
Uh,
Hold on. This is actually a reference that I don't remember from this movie.
yeah.
Yo Ma. Or Yo. Oh, wait, no.
No, it was just they were.
It's
telling
just Yo Mama.
jokes.
I just read Yo Mama as Yo Ma.
No,
No, I remember that scene.
one of the particularly bad ones was Ghost Rider.
Whoa. Oh
where
my God.
they just-
It's Ghost Rider.
It's just Ghost Rider appears, and they're just
No.
like, it's Ghost Rider.
No, here we go. This is an example. Rocky Balboa shows up, all chained up. And how do you defeat him? Botox. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Sylvester Stallone, is wearing a diaper. His face is all messed up. He's all like, yeah, I'm going to knock your block off, you know?
Yeah.
And then, it's like, oh, do I grab the knife? Do I grab the gun? No. I'm going to go for the Botox.
Yeah.
And then Botox overload.
Yep.
And then he falls down. It's like, hey, what's associated with this? Let's just throw it at that.
Yeah, it's even more like, yeah, exactly. It's
All Paris Hilton
what's
ate today was an
associated
almond,
with this?
you
yes.
know, like
The
Gatorade commercial was pretty good.
It would be like if you were like,
It was pretty good. It's funny. I laughed. I
They
cheered.
were just sweating Gatorade.
They drank Gatorade and they sweat Gatorade, dude.
The Spartans are like, you think they're all manly? Nah, they're actually like sissy boys. They're actually.
They have some like homosexual.
I was gonna say
underlinings.
there are some of them homosexuals.
That is I believe a solid 45% of the jokes in this movie
Yes.
aren't Spartans, like little flamboyant,
In ways that would
or just outright
no longer be in any way okay
or it's just like outright like they're gay for each other.
Yes,
They have sex.
but I find it to be more often like
Adjust the sword. I have it in my hand.
or like limp-wristed, like heavily. We're going antiquing later.
They're all drinking the frappuccinos.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
that sissy frou kappa frappa.
Yeah. From Star whatever.
Have you ever noticed also that like old dudes, whenever they're complaining about coffee, it's another thing that I think they intentionally get wrong to seem more disconnected from like the Kardashians.
Tea,
Can I get one? I don't want one of them mocha loca frappa lappa whatevers. I just want a plain coffee.
Just give it to me black, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the Justin Bieber on your iPod iTunes.
Dude, I did this the other
Nintendo
day
iPod.
I did this the other day by accident. There's a Proactive commercial with Is Kylie Jenner the one in the Pepsi?
Yes.
Yeah, she was in the commercial and I was like, "Hey, this is a Kardashian, right?" And then everybody else in my apartment was just like, "Oh yeah, dude." And I was like, "Oh no." I know
glad.
it's the Pepsi. I know her last name's Jenner.
I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I got deservingly ranked on. So the fat guy from Borat turns into Megatron, and then he plays. hold on, and then he plays
Yes.
"Leave Britney Alone" on the
Yes,
monitor,
yes.
centering his chest.
Which again is like you can't do this. You can't have it just highlight.
Yeah, dude,
You
like
can't just take something whole cloth and the funniest thing you do is conjure it into being within the context of
yeah,
your thing.
dude, like how terrible would that be if like we were watching a movie nowadays and it was like I don't know, like Black Panther or something, and they went like, "What are those?" What if that were to happen? You can't reference memes in movies.
I don't feel good. Oh, that felt bad to me.
How so?
I didn't like that. It was tough.
Oh, what made you think?
Yeah, that one didn't feel good.
Oh, what, do you like that movie?
Yeah.
It's no better than Meet the Spartans.
Okay, now that's
Hey,
racist.
Dude, I'm just going to say it. Epic movie is a more diverse movie than Narnia.
It is. No, we noticed that. We were like, actually, this has a way more diverse,
Yeah.
cast of characters than, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, another scene. There's the scene with Aslan.
Oh, we're back to epic movie.
So
everybody.
I forgot that the recurring. I would say maybe even the go-to way that things are parodied is, what if X was slutty?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the most common. Like,
at
guess
least all the
whether
jokes about
X-Men,
women.
guess whether Mystique was slutty. You bet she was, folks.
Yeah, I hate
Guess
those.
whether... The only one that I was surprised was there was no slutty Hermione in Harry Potter.
Yeah, instead she was just gross.
Yes.
And, like, smoked cigarettes and said mean things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But hold on. She was pregnant.
Nice. But yes, the memes in
Teen
your movies,
pregnancy.
it would be like... But it's even... What are those was... Like, it's a shitty meme. But, like...
Justify it.
But it's integrated more so than what this would be the equivalent of is if somebody held up a phone and it was, damn, Daniel, and it's like just playing on their phone.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you're like, you've done nothing but show me this.
Yep.
What are those is not
no,
good.
it's not good, but it's not as bad.
But it's not as bad as that.
More
It's
or less
about
a joke.
something that addresses context of what the joke is about, at least.
Yeah. No, yeah. I was just sort of...
Oh, no,
saying
and that's
a joke.
brutal. That's
Yeah.
you're correct, and it hurts.
It is funny, though. There's a scene where they reference Grand Theft Auto, where he runs around like a video game.
That was really weird.
I didn't get that. Like, I
Had
don't know
a Grand
if there's
Theft Auto
anything to
game
get.
even... I guess, had GTA 4 just come out?
I think the Grand Theft Auto series was probably just popular at the time.
I mean, it's been popular for, probably,
since
what?
early 2000s,
Almost,
right?
Yeah, almost 20 years
Yeah,
now.
like GTA 3 was the first famous one, right?
So maybe it was just that, but it was very strange.
Well, actually, didn't it say, like, GTA San something instead of San...
like San Sparta, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was probably making fun of GTA San Andreas or whatever
Probably.
it's called. Yeah.
That was like the most... Yeah,
that was
famous
like the
one for a long
first...
time.
I think that was one of, like, the really famous ones before 4. Video game talk, everybody.
Yeah, and like not incorporated at all. Again, where it just went into his vision, and it was like the vision when you're in the video game, and it's like what are we doing here?
Oh, he's a Spartan, but he's moving around like a video game character and has a car that he then blasts Barbie girl in.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
It takes a 30-second detour.
I really enjoyed the Transformers reference because. No, I actually really like this.
No, go on.
Not for the reason it wanted, of course, but because it was before we as a society became so saturated with Transformers that if you were going to parody it, you had to have it look exactly like the Transformers.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it doesn't really look like how a Transformer looks.
It looks like plastic. It looks like an action figure that's like stiff.
Like it doesn't look like it's based on Transformers. It's just like a weird robot.
And then the joke is that he walks too far and he becomes unplugged and then falls on. Wait, what was it? What was the joke? He fell on them, but then the narrator said something that was like, and he fell hard. Unfortunately, right on top of them.
Yeah,
yeah.
He fell hard, and then they were like, "Whoa!" And then they got crushed.
Yeah,
and it's like right on top of them.
Unfortunately,
we're like, yes,
yeah. All right,
yes. That is, we saw.
Remember when the credits started rolling for Meet the Spartans and we were reading names and we were like,
that was the most exciting
George
part of
Bush
the movie.
never came up in this movie.
Some names that we were like, was this cut? I don't remember
we
there being
miss
Ellen
it?
DeGeneres. I don't remember. And then the lengthy post-credits sequence. There was a post-credits I Will Survive.
Oh my God.
Musical
There's
number.
an American Idol I Will Survive performance. That was because it was on the
50
American
Cent
Idol
was
stage.
in this movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel like this is a particularly jumping back and forth disorganized episode, even by our standards, because there's no narrative.
That was not 50 Cent, first off. That was Method Man.
Oh, you're right.
He had 50 Cent tattooed on his back.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. In Epic Movie, I think. Epic Movie.
In Epic Movie, he had 50 Cent's tattoo, which is a weird reference.
Method Man stomps the yard with
the Spartans
he plays
when they
the
have
Persians.
a dance-off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Ike Barinholtz shows up as Dane Cook in the post credits.
The more I think about
and
it,
that's the funniest part for me.
The more this was, they were like, hey, I have this impression. I have a pretty good.
Yeah, no.
Because these were all like some of the best impressions, and it was like during
the
that
Ellen
time,
DeGeneres
of course,
was
everybody
good.
would want to would have an Ellen or like a
Britney
George
Spears,
Bush or like
yeah.
like those.
And
would
then
be
everybody at the time had the famous Donald Trump impression that was in this movie.
Was that in this movie?
Yeah, remember he goes, "You fired,"
You fired.
and then he gets kicked out. Back when that was his catchphrase, and that's what everybody knew him for.
Not
destroying, destabilizing
very,
America.
Very good folks, fine folks on both sides.
Yeah, You know, I don't like talking about that on the show because then it just bums me out.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. There's a dodgeball reference, though.
Yeah. You can dodge a sword. You can dodge a wrench. Yep.
You can dodge a Persian.
Yeah. There's.
Rambo shows up at the very
But
end.
yeah, no, there's a scene that
Different
is
Sylvester
so one of the most beautifully dated things I've ever seen, where it is the end where Dane Cook is doing his Dane Cook.
The premise
Ike
is
doing his Dane Cook.
It's an ongoing continuation of the famous kicking down a hole scene from Meet the Spartans.
You
where
could
he
just say the scene from 300, and it's just
people might think I'm talking about the Oracle Ugly Betty sequence. So, the famous one, and. He's kicking people down, and then American Idol shows up, starts rating his kicks, and then he has to kick Ellen down because she's annoying.
Yep.
The same woman who played Ellen's playing Britney Spears. He kicks her down because she's annoying.
The last political thing is, I will say that this and the way that it treated celebrities did feel very Trumpian. Did feel like it's this mean, like... place that comes from resentment towards, celebrities, which is fine. Like, it's fine to resent celebrities. Yeah. But this desire to just watch celebrities get owned and
here's the thing.
Destroyed.
I was wrong about the Donald Trump scene. What actually happens is he opens up a window in his skyscraper and Spider-Man 3 steals his hair.
Is that you, Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, and then Spider-Man takes his hair away.
Yeah.
Because that was back when it didn't have real hair, because apparently he has real hair now. Let's keep up with that. Yeah. I think what did it for me was the Dane Cook scene where Ike is doing a really good
Dane Cook impression.
And he's like, aren't I funny? I'm talking real fast.
He's got
super fingers.
Yeah, he's like super finger, and then he's like Sufi to you. Yeah, and then I guess Gerard Butler comes up and he's like, no, Sufi to you, Dane Cook. Yeah, and then kicks him in, and that moment is great. Yeah, that was funny. But, it's also just funny It's
funny because we're in 2019. Yes. We're like, wow, that's so dated. But at the same time, they're like, oh, man, they are making fun of Dane Cook, which is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I make fun of Dane Cook all the time with my roommates, and it's pretty funny, at least to me. I don't know if anybody else
I think that's the common sense.
It's my new bit. I make fun of Dane Cook.
I just don't think Ike is funny.
What? All right, let's address it now that we're on a disaster movie.
Let's air some dirty laundry.
Well, yeah, okay. So Ike Barinholtz, is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, Barinholtz.
Yeah.
Dude's funny. What have you seen him in where you're like, man, he's really not funny besides these movies? Besides what we watched for this episode. He's the funniest part about the Neighbors, the Seth Rogen movies. He is hands down the funniest part of those movies. It might just
be these.
You probably just don't like him from these.
Was he on Mad TV?
Maybe. I don't know. You want me to look at his IMDb right now?
That's what I'm looking at too, but it's not loading.
Yeah, no. He's in some movies. He was in Suicide Squad. Yeesh. That wasn't good. Remember him in that? He was the scummy police officer who was letting the Joker get away with stuff.
I was just about to ask if the Joker was in Suicide Squad.
Dude.
I know. I know. He's damaged.
Yeah.
How do you think Jared Leto feels right now?
Not good.
with the new.
I'm sure he's happy.
With the new.
I'm sure he's probably happy about it because I know he wants to distance himself as far away from.
I can't wait for Mark Maron's Joker.
That wouldn't be bad.
Well, Mark Maron's in that movie.
Mark Maron's in the new Joker?
Yes.
No.
He is. Look it up.
No.
Look it up.
No.
Look it up. Mark Maron's in the new Joker, which I think is actually interesting.
Mark, listen to Captain Beefheart Maron?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll be.
Yeah. Which is why I said I can't wait for him to be playing the Joker, as if he were doing that. But
you know, Al from Atlanta is also going to be in the Joker.
Yeah.
That I was like, hey.
He's awesome.
Al's also going to be in the new Child's Play movie. I saw a commercial for that, and he was in it 3 times.
Aubrey Plaza in it?
Yeah,
as
she's
well?
the mom. But yeah, he plays like a police officer, and I was like, damn, I would love it if Al just kept getting work.
He will.
I don't know his real name, but the dude is great at acting, both comedic and dramatic.
Yeah.
Just from that show.
Switching between the two.
Yeah, because he plays a really good straight man.
Yeah. No, he's great in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's also does really good at being fed up with stuff. What else was Ike in? Oh, Ike was in Bright.
He's okay.
So why do you think? Oh no, he's also in Vampires Suck. Dude, why didn't we watch Vampires Suck? We had an entire week to watch it.
I don't know.
We probably should have.
Yeah, but
And it's the highest reviewed out of them all. It's got a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's.
The others have 2s and 1. Disaster Movie's got a 1. Both epic.
So we've watched a 0, 1, 2.
We're missing a 3.
We haven't seen a 3.
Yeah. And I guess so on. Oh my God. Okay, no, hold on. Disaster Movie may have been the only one that didn't succeed. Because in 2008, it made $34 million. But here's the thing. Come 2010, Vampires Suck, $81.4 million.
No!
It's back to the same numbers that made it successful. But after that, there were
because
releases.
that was. Do you think it's because they capitalized on hyper specific releases?
Yeah, no, it's literally
and like Twilight.
It's
Twilight
making fun
is
of Twilight.
perfect for them.
Exactly.
It's perfect for them because
Exactly.
it's like teen pop.
Yep.
Like it's so everyone wants to see Twilight bashed.
Everybody above the age of like 15 wants to see it get hated on. Or edgy kids.
Or a boy younger than 15.
Yeah. Yep. Like I saw this movie and laughed.
Because the culture, my brother talks to me about this a lot, but he's like, always the most accepted thing to hate on at any given point in time is what teenage girls are into at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like
Justin
no matter
Bieber,
what,
One
boy
Direction.
bands, boy bands. Remember when people were like, "Oh man, screw boy bands,
Screw
man.
1D, bro.
Oh, Justin Timberlake, whatever."
Hey, Justin Timberlake's timeless.
Well, no, and now he is, but like, or not, maybe not timeless, but now he's transcended that, obviously.
Yeah, dude. Social Network, Friends with Benefits.
No strings
time.
attached. In time. Whoa.
I'm surprised we didn't see any in-time references.
Whoa. I was excited for that movie.
Because it's a sweet premise.
Well, and because I was hot off of Zombieland, and I'm like, yo, she was really good in Zombieland, and also I have a crush on her.
Emma Stone?
I think so.
I mean, it's either that or Abigail Breslin.
It's not Abigail Breslin.
Yeah.
She was like 12.
Dude, we should have just sucked it up and watched this vampire movie.
I thought you were going to say sucked it up and watched In Time. And I was like, yes, but I don't know. There's no way we get an episode out of that.
How are we going to connect that? Just as well as they connected anything in their movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some was... Wait, these were in disaster movies. I'm not trying to skip forward.
Let's just take a quick break. Guys, we're taking a quick break. You're listening to 99.3 WBTV LP on FM, Burlington, or 993WBTV.org. Forgot to do that like 20 minutes ago, so we did it now. And we're back from our break. Man, I don't know about you, but I had like 3 cigs in that amount of time. Yes, a pack a day keeps the dentist away. So, end of August 2008, we get Disaster Movie.
Yeah.
8 months after Meet the Spartans, they got their follow-up. And this time, we have quite possibly one of the most famous celebrities of our generation in this movie as a character, and that's Kim Kardashian.
I think
It's not surprising.
I think this one was my favorite.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Because it had some of the worst references, some of the most with the 2020 hindsight of, you know, getting to watch something that was made in the past, stuff that was accidentally really not tasteful.
Accidentally is a strong word.
Yeah.
I don't think these movies were like, hey, let's be tasteful about this.
Yes,
All right,
yeah,
guys?
you're right. But are even worse in hindsight.
Dr. Phil. Oh no.
Dr. Phil, Amy Winehouse, and Michael Jackson are the main ones I'm referring
Amy
to. In terms of looking back and being like,
Michael Jackson.
"Ugh."
No, Michael Jackson. I don't. That was still the same.
Well,
That's the same
absolutely
in my
it was.
mind.
Absolutely, it
Michael
was.
Jackson 10 years ago is the same as he is today.
He's
He's been dead the whole
Yes.
time. Everybody knows he
You're
did
right. You're
molest
right.
children, like
You're
you know,
right.
stuff like that.
That's been known the whole time.
It's just like now. It's just
and
like
it's so,
that's not funny
and
to
it's
joke
so
about.
messy. And didn't I even say that when it was Amy Winehouse was happening?
Yeah.
There was a scene with Amy Winehouse like being drunk and drinking
She
really
was
heavily.
messed up and singing about how she's not going back to rehab and she's just gonna stay messed up.
And everybody in the room was
It
like,
was silent.
"Ew,
We were all
I don't know about this one. And I
kinda
was like,
sad.
this would be like, this is going to be what it's like when we see stuff with Michael Jackson. And it's like, ha ha ha, isn't it funny how like he likes little kids? And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but he does. And it's bad.
Things
and lo
happen,
and
yeah.
behold, that exact scene happened in this movie.
yes,
But
yeah.
the other reason why this is my favorite is because not even a whole year had elapsed. Right? It was also 2008.
Michael Jackson's death.
No.
Oh.
Since Meet the Spartans.
Yeah, it was 8 months later.
yeah.
Sorry, I was looking
So-
up when Michael Jackson died. That was 2009.
So
Don't worry, disaster movie. You're in the clear. That joke was okay to
that was
tell.
still good.
Good bit, guys.
Funny.
Yeah. Dare I say it? Hilarious.
Makes you laugh and think.
That's my kind of comedy.
But
I'm into dark, twisted
yeah,
humor,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, absolutely.
Deadpool. Oh, dude.
But the pop culture roundup that they do is even worse stuff. It's even less timeless stuff. It's like Wanted and
I'm Indiana
Jumper,
Jones, bitch.
and Jumper and like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's like stuff that's like
American
even,
Gladiators.
stuff that's even more like, oh man, I guess.
The
And they're
movie
like curved.
opens-
Guess, by the way, yeah. Guess what scene they pick for Wanted? Is it the only thing anybody knows about the movie Wanted?
Is it the scene where Angelina Jolie gets out of the bathtub?
No, I don't remember that.
Is it the scene where Morgan Freeman
Curves the bullet.
Oh, how can I forget
Curves the
about
bullet.
curving the bullet?
You're like, I'm a huge Wanted fan.
Yeah,
I didn't
jeez,
know.
right on whoosh.
like curved right over my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, and then guess what? He just shoots whoever it is.
Yeah, well, I think he shoots like multiple celebrities
Oh, no, he
at this
curves
party,
the bullet and
including,
it
like Dr. Phil
ricochets.
kills the guy from Superbad, McLover or whatever.
Okay, so let's
Kills Amy Winehouse.
Let's talk about the Dr. Phil bit. This joke is problematic.
How so?
So Dr. Phil's hitting on this chick, right? And she is like, no. And then he like sexually assaults her somehow? Like physically touches her or something, right? Isn't that what
I
happens?
remember the word he used,
I
but
remember
is
the
that
word
not
he
until
used.
later?
Yeah, she then walks away and rejects him because he just
Yeah.
did something obviously wrong.
Yeah,
and
he
then-
crossed the line, and he's played to be like gross.
Yeah, he's
like,
played to be gross, but
even,
it's still funny. It's
Yeah.
still supposed to be a joke.
Yeah,
what
it's
he
still
says
supposed to be-
is still supposed to make you laugh because Dr. Phil just said
yeah,
that.
Dr. Phil.
He then yells a word that I'm not going to say on air. It's a profane word to describe a lesbian.
To describe something they build in the Netherlands to hold back water lines.
Good one. Anyway, he then gets rejected again by her.
I don't know.
I just remember he then yells another pretty
and we were
awful
just
word.
like, there's a lot of like slut shaming.
Yeah.
In this
Yes.
Like
every woman is stupid, slutty, or evil.
Yeah, and like
that's the joke.
There were a couple
naked.
scenes
or
where
there's like a woman with a wet T-shirt, and that's the joke.
there were a couple scenes where like it's like something. No, but you're such a slut, like out of nowhere, and we're like, where?
But
is
it's
this?
funny because the girl from Enchanted calls Kim Kardashian a slut.
It's weird. It feels like it's coming from a mean-spirited place of like real anger and resentment towards women.
Yeah, no, that's probably it.
Yeah, and it's just it was in a way that was upsetting beyond even the other two, which were neither one was respectful of women in any way. But
Neither
this
any of
seemed
these
like
movies have been respectable about anything.
But this seemed like a new weird level of
Yes.
like
Yeah.
venomous almost,
Yes.
like malicious.
Yeah, like it was mean. It was, yeah, everything you just said. I guess it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I got uncomfortable a lot throughout these movies. I was like, this is a bad joke. It's
Like-
not landing. But like that stuff, like, was
And
like,
then like introducing
sinister.
Hannah Montana, who's like trapped under some wreckage just so that
who
she
at the
gets hit
time
with
was
a
still
meteor.
a kid. Yeah, at the time was like still
Was it? Yeah, was
a
a kid who's not responsible for
Yeah, because we all know Miley Cyrus made all the decisions
Yeah.
in her life.
hating on kids is a real bad look. Disaster movie.
And they kill Hannah Montana with a meteor, and then she's like dying, and then she goes, "But wait, the tour is starting this summer.
Sure.
Come get your Hannah Montana T-shirts and your CDs." And it's like, this is just. It felt wrong. It felt like if nowadays you were like, "Ha, that kid from Stranger Things has no teeth." You know what I mean?
But
it's worse.
that's even better than this.
No, that's true. Because
That's better
at
because it's
least-
referencing
Yeah.
a characteristic of this person beyond just we don't like them. So
Yeah,
they-
that's true.
it
That
would-
is true. All right, you got a point.
It would be. I'm trying to think of like what's a thing for teenagers that is popular but adults don't like or
Billie
care about.
Eilish.
Teenage girls, though, specifically.
Billie Eilish. Girls like Billie Eilish.
I don't think
I'm
adults
just thinking
know who
because
that
she's
is
a
yet.
teenager.
I don't think like
Ariana Grande.
Okay, that's getting there.
I don't think we have a modern day Miley Cyrus, if that's what you're asking.
I guess not.
We do not have Hannah Montana.
I guess
anymore.
not. But like, yeah, it'd be if
If Joey King.
I was thinking like
Remember when they referenced "Got Milk"?
yeah.
I don't. Explain it.
I'm assuming somebody just had a milk mustache.
No, they said "got something" and it wasn't milk, and I don't remember.
No, but I remembered the entirety of this movie is the scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp where Michael Pena goes, "What's up? Everybody remember that beloved ad campaign? What's up?"
Yeah, and that's funny because then Michael Pena says that.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't have Michael Pena saying stuff.
No. But it's just that it's the reference and then everybody remember that?
Yeah, they make fun of My Sweet 16 in like a weird way. Because remember the main character guy is like, yeah, I'm 20 whatever, but I never had My Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Oh, June. Best part about this movie is the Juno
Yeah,
impression.
Juno part was funny.
Okay, so like the woman who played Harry Potter or Hermione and played Miley Cyrus is also Juno, and she does a pretty good Juno
It's
impression.
pretty good.
And then like digs into like Juno
And it's
stuff
written to
well.
to be fun.
Like granted, there's still like really bad jokes surrounding Juno and teen pregnancy, but then you
yes.
have like
and it will always circle
Yes.
back to I'd get knocked up, but it looks like I already got knocked up.
yeah, but like she's then like her arms are like up and her hands are like twisting, and she's like, "Looky here,
Yeah.
Fred Durst lookalike guy," and then
Yeah,
like
like two,
obscene
like-
references.
And somebody's like, stop making too clever by half
yeah,
comments.
whatever, buzzkill, like
Yeah, it was like
Freakazoid.
Buzzkill Galactica or something.
yes, stuff like that, like. Like that was
It's like
the
these
funniest.
these
this movie
witticisms
got.
and turns of
Yeah.
pop culture, turns of phrase.
Okay, I actually take that back. Funniest part of the movie: Kung Fu Panda shows up at the end. It's
That was like we were blindsided by this.
I wasn't, because I've seen this movie, and like one of the things I remembered, I'm like, I remember at the very end, Kung Fu Panda shows up, and then Love
Pure
Guru shows up.
ideology.
Yeah, but I just remember turning to Billy and being like, Kung Fu Panda, and he was like,
What are you talking about?
he went, no, and then out comes this. It's a guy in like a furry
Kung
suit.
Fu Panda does not look well.
He
He's
looks
not
like
a well
Kung Fu
man.
Panda somehow slimmed a bit, but also grew, and then like his eyes and teeth got malicious.
Like meth.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
And he's like, Skadoosh, I'm gonna kick your ass. And
I don't
it's
know
like,
does he even say
No, he
skadoosh?
doesn't. I
Or-
just
yeah.
I like to work in whatever skadooshes I can.
Yeah.
But
They didn't get the Jack Black impersonator, or did they? Do you think?
they probably did.
So I
It's-
want to read. This is where it's actually relevant. I took
I
a
think,
picture of this,
but
'cause
I also think we laughed really hard at that just because of how awful it looked.
the IMDb page
Oh,
for
Yeah, Ben, one doing research for this movie, was reading like
it
the
makes
cast.
me so happy.
Yeah.
The cast is Nicole Parker plays Enchanted Princess / Amy Winehouse lookalike. Like, this is the most 2008 image
Yeah.
I've ever seen. / Amy Winehouse lookalike / Jessica Simpson lookalike. Krista Flanagan plays Junie / Hannah Montana. So was Junie Spy Kids?
There was a Spy Kids. Oh, wait,
Okay.
no, Juno, because Juno's Junie in this movie.
Okay, fair enough. Kim Kardashian West plays Lisa as Kim Kardashian. I don't really understand that. And
That's
then
Kim Kardashian.
Ike
plays Lisa.
Barinholtz plays Wolf / Javier Bardem lookalike / police officer / Hellboy / Batman / Beowulf / Prince Caspian.
Hell yeah. Okay, wait. So do you like Ike or not? Do you actually think he's not funny?
I mean,
He's not funny in these movies except for the Dane Cook bit.
no.
Yeah. But when you've seen him in other stuff, do you think he's funny?
I struggle to remember the last thing I've seen.
Have
him
you
in.
seen Neighbors?
No.
All right. Well, if you ever see that or Neighbors 2, he's the funniest part. And I'm pretty sure he just came out with a movie with John Cena that's real good. Like, actually real good, despite that sounding horrible.
I just love that he's Hellboy, Batman, Beowulf, and Prince Caspian.
Beowulf gets me.
Just every yes, absolutely.
Beowulf is the best one.
And Prince Caspian, I think, is also
yeah,
extremely
and Prince
lame.
Caspian, because that's what, Narnia 3?
Yeah,
what?
Narnia
No,
2, I think.
Yeah,
but
the third
still,
one
like,
was something else.
like yeah, in like
Yeah.
such.
And remember, the jumper lands on him, and then he goes, I killed the guy who ruined Star Wars.
Again, like a classic dude to punch down at is Hayden Christensen. Because
Exactly.
it's like he's a pretty boy.
Yeah, he ruined Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's
not
bad at
not,
acting.
Not George Lucas.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think George Lucas ruined Star Wars. I think we all did.
Yeah.
As a culture, we ruined Star Wars.
If George Lucas,
There's no magic.
Yeah.
Nothing's there. I'll see whatever comes out, but there's no magic. I can't watch the original in any sort of light.
Well, and I think that's the story of The Last Jedi. Is there's the saying that's like, if Satan didn't exist, or if God didn't exist, we would need to invent him.
Yeah.
If George Lucas didn't ruin Star Wars fans would have to ruin Star Wars, and they did.
Yeah, no, they did. You can't watch any of the originals with any sense of wonder. Or...
That's not true. Every once in a while, I watch like Empire,
Dude.
and I'm like, this owns.
I haven't watched any of them since the last time I watched them, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't the same. And I think we're maybe I'm desensitized or
Maybe.
oversaturated. Maybe that's just me in my own head. Maybe we shouldn't talk about Star Wars on the show.
Fat chance.
We're movie nerds. We have to.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's into movies has seen it.
Mm-hmm.
No Country for Old Men shows up and goes, call it.
Which
time do you
you've
go to
been
bed at
been
night?
riffing off of for the last week or so.
Yeah, I liked how you were just there when like me and Billy went off, and then Joe was like, no, they've done this every night. It's like, what time do you go to bed at night? This is the most important coin flip of your life. Call it.
Billy still hasn't seen the movie, right?
No.
He's just going off on
But we
call it.
watched that scene a few times to get the lines down.
It's like because he'd like the movie a
He
lot
would-
too.
He would like No Country for Old Men. It's nice and depressing. But I think it's actually funnier.
I mean, yeah, it's a bridge to Terabithia.
It's the bridge to
situation.
Terabithia bit. Full circle, everybody. We
Yeah.
did it. Did they reference Night? They did reference Night at the Museum. It was just
Okay, this was
Lazy.
the call. I made a call that I was extremely confident in that I was wrong, and I was sad, but I thought, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call it now. As soon as I saw them going into a museum and it being night at the museum, I'm like, there will be a caveman exhibit that comes to life and tries to have sex with this woman. And I was so confident. And that ended up not being true, but I feel like it was emotionally true.
It was true in spirit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You had the idea. It was there. Okay, can we talk about two things? They made fun of an AT&T commercial. Remember when the phone cut out?
Like, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
was that what
remember
it was?
they're like he's talking. He's like, I'm doing this and I'm coming and I'm gonna be there. And she's like, what? And all you see is him going like, mouth moving, no words. And I want to be like, hey, that's awful. They referenced a commercial in a year that definitely got dated.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was brought back to a classic scene from Airplane.
Yes.
When they're getting coffee and she's like, in her head she goes, huh, that's weird, he never drinks Toll House coffee at home. And as a kid I was like, what? And my parents were like, that was a commercial from the 70s.
Yeah, Wayne's World does and it's a taste of a generation.
Well, I think that is
but even so, I think it's directly proportional to how classic the commercial is. And I just don't think that AT&T commercial was classic.
I disagree. I think when that happened, we were all like, right, the AT&T commercial from 10 years ago.
Now, if there was a parody where it was like Terry Crews and he's like, look at your man, now back at me, now back at your man.
Yeah.
Something like everybody would be like, hey, it's the classic Old Spice commercial.
Yeah, and like What's Up is the classic
Everybody
commercial.
Remember that beloved commercial?
Yeah, exactly.
That beloved advertisement?
Let's talk about the sequence where there's a tornado, and we think it might be Twister, but
we're not sure. But then
but a cow
flies. Gets crushed by a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Batman, maybe Hellboy. I think
there's
I
literally
think it's Hellboy.
There's literally I think it's it's the Hulk. The Hulk gets hit by the cow.
Sure.
Yeah. So literally there is like 3 parodies that showed up one after the other in this one sequence where tornadoes happening. Look, it is Iron Man. And then Iron Man is there, and he's like, I've come to save the day, and he gets crushed. And they're like, look, it is Hellboy. And Hellboy's like, I've come to save the day. All of which played by Ike, by the way. And then it's like, oh, we got the Hulk. And then he's like,
what Hulk movie?
Deborah, I'm from Queens.
Deborah.
Mom, get out of my home. Hey, Kumail Nanjiani. My daughter is sick. The big sick. Take care of my daughter. My brother's tall. Sid, I'm a mammoth.
There you go.
okay. Thank you for stopping by the Ray Romano Hour.
It's been great having you.
Jamie Foxx,
2005 Ray.
What?
Is Ray?
Oh, it's Ray. Yo, all right, I would totally watch Ray, but Ray Romano's playing Ray Charles.
We were laughing about this is not going to be funny to anybody. Ray, but halfway through,
yes,
he becomes Electro from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, no, it's like the nerdy Amazing Spider-Man 2 Jamie Foxx, and then he gets his superpower to play the piano and turns into Electro.
He also turns into Electro. I remember in that Electro has his own like theme song, like it's not
the
uncommon
dubstep
for him
theme.
Yeah, but it has lyrics.
No.
It has lyrics in the background.
Who does the lyrics?
I don't know.
If
but
you
it
had said
has
Jamie
lyrics
Foxx.
that are like about Electro. It's like Electro's coming to something.
Venom, gotta go get him.
But in the movie,
Venom's
in the scene, it doesn't.
Oh, it's like
in the scene.
Oh man.
And no one else has ever talked about it, and I think I'm the only one who knows this.
I'm glad you talked about it because that is shocking. I don't
and
remember.
It's awful.
That. I just remember
seeing it at
dubstep.
the time and want to like bury myself in my hands, like wanting to disappear into the ground as soon as I heard background lyrics in a scene in Electro's theme from the Amazing Spider-Man.
It'd be like
2.
if you were watching like some older movie or whatever, and then it's like, hey, this is our hero, Bali Bali Bahu Bali.
But that's awesome. And like,
where we draw the line, Ben?
Because this was not. It is not the same.
Give me 3 good reasons why.
The
Amazing
movie's
Spider-Man
called
2.
Bahubali. The movie's called Bahubali. It's not uncommon for your protagonist song
in a
Bollywood movie.
Hollywood
movie
Man, there's a lot of gain on that one, I bet. I bet when people listen to that, they're going to love it.
You're uploading it to SoundCloud and you
You
just
just see like a line go up. Tollywood, the Tollywood line.
Chanting is different, I feel, than...
Well, no, I'm talking about when the soundtrack goes Bali Bali Bahu Bali.
It's friggin' different. It's absolutely different, and you're playing mind games if you're pretending it's not. Because this one's an epic. It's an epic about Bahubali. It's an epic about, like, this one dude.
And this is an epic about Electro.
It is not. It is not, and that
The
is
Amazing
you're being
Spider-Man
intellectually
2
dishonest.
is about Electro.
We all know it's not. It's about the
All right.
tragic death of Gwen Stacy.
Fine. What if you're watching John Wick 3 and out
Yeah.
of nowhere it's like, John Wick 3, he. Oh, that would be hilarious.
I could see
actually.
that, though.
John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum.
It's like when Gotti is like, yo, ha, Gotti.
Yeah,
You gotta
Pitbull
stay
goes,
true to
"Got
the
it."
family. Ha, ha.
Son's dead.
His son's dead. Dedicated to him.
In loving memory of. Oh, man, we got pretty unhinged there.
Yeah.
When does The Shining show up in this movie? Does
Red Rum. Someone says
Red
Red
Rum.
Rum in a totally ridiculous moment.
It was right after Get Smart, where he puts his shoe up to his ear, and then it's
There
like,
were chipmunks.
Poop. Alvin the
There were
Chipmunks.
the evil chipmunks.
That scared
bit
me
him,
as a kid.
And he was spinning around, and as one of them was bitten down on him, he says, Red Rum, Red Rum.
Yeah.
Because it's
High-pitched
scary
voice,
and
Red
high-pitched. That's it.
Um,
The chipmunks.
apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Apply directly to the
You
forehead.
can't do that.
No, because then she's like, I am applying it to my forehead. And then the announcer lady goes, F you stupid.
You slut.
Yeah, apply directly to the forehead.
Insane.
Yeah.
Just a moment of madness.
Yeah. Love Guru shows up at the end.
Yeah, he does. In spades.
In spades. And which is odd joke to make because I feel like the Love Guru didn't resonate as well with audiences as had planned.
No, but it was he was
That was still
he
a
was a
famous
visually
caricature.
iconic character
Yeah.
instantly.
Anybody with long hair and the beard and
Then
the robes and
the curly
the
mustache
pickle.
was like,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and he goes, break the pickle, no tickle my pickle. And that's
Yeah,
the
you know
joke.
what it would be? I mean, have you seen this clip? It's fairly famous. It's like a famous cringe clip where it's from this show. It's from some show where, and this is very much what these movies are. A woman is with this girl, and the girl is wearing a Rick and Morty shirt. Mm-hmm. And the woman's like, oh, you like Rick and Morty? And the girl's like, yeah, I love it. And the woman's like, wubba lubba dub dub. And
Szechuan sauce.
and yeah, and that's like exactly what this is. It's like this joyless.
Now you're just talking about reference culture.
Yeah,
in a
but like
sense.
that was shoehorned in that type of way where it's
Yeah.
like literally just presenting a thing to you, being like, hey, do you know about this? Yes.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, no, all these movies are just, hey, you saw the trailer to whatever it is we're about to rip on. Disaster movie, I would say, is the weakest in terms of a parody because there's no actual disaster movie that it follows, which I thought was the most shocking part.
Yeah,
I
that
had
is true.
thought that it was going to be Cloverfield. That was my assumption because that had just come out and it was a disaster movie. And even like the poster of this has like the Liberty statue getting overcome by like a wave.
I
but
think
there's some
that might
goofy
be
stuff.
Day After Tomorrow.
But here's the thing. Nowhere in this movie is there a Day After Tomorrow parody.
Is that Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid. You know it.
He's so
Roland
young.
Emmy.
That movie scared the
Dude,
crap
that
out of
movie
me.
was so good to like 10-year-old me.
That was like the
My
scariest
grandma
movie I'd ever
gave me
seen.
her DVD of that.
I saw it in theaters with my grandma.
Along with Roland Emmy's Godzilla. By the way, his name is Roland Emmy. Roll M. And we should... No. I
Not
take
fun
that back.
enough.
Everybody.
Not fun enough.
Not fun enough.
We also have like a limited number of episodes left.
Yeah, we really do. How
Yeah.
many we got left? Like until the end of May?
Yeah.
You're leaving, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Where are you headed after this?
I don't want to talk about it on air.
Come on. Let the viewers know why industry professionals will inevitably end. And no, it's not because
Look,
we
I
have
got a
other
role
things.
in a motion picture that I'm not at liberty to discuss right now.
Let's just say
It's in a certain cinematic universe. And it
talk-
is not.
we're talking about Moose Jaws, everybody. Ben is going to be in the upcoming Moose Jaws movie, directed by Kevin Smith, all a part of his Canadian trilogy, starting with Tusk and then Yoga Hosers.
I'm going to be.
He's going to be the Moose.
I'm going to be in the gritty Rocky and Bullwinkle reboot that's coming out. Directed by.
Wait, did you know that
Colin
Moose Jaws was actually
Trevorrow.
supposed to be a thing?
No.
Yeah, no. You remember Tusk and Yoga Hosers?
Yeah. I remember Tusk and Yoga Hosers. I remember the trailer being like, oh my
Oof.
God, this is a fever dream.
Yeah, well, don't worry. There was supposed to be a third in that trilogy, and it was going to be Moose Jaws. And the premise was it's Jaws, but with a moose and in Canada.
Yep.
And honestly,
that's a Kevin Smith thing.
I would have seen it.
Don't you like Tusk, though?
No. I liked Tusk when I saw it in theaters for the first time. I've seen it like twice since, and it is pretty awful. But that the surprise of the reveal of what the walrus looks like is a memory that I will always cherish.
So for the last 10 minutes, can we just run down things that would be in the 2019 disaster movie?
Yeah. All right. Donald Trump will be all over it.
I think Donald Trump, Game of Thrones, Infinity War are
Yep.
essential inclusions.
Yeah, fidget spinner maybe.
Fidget spinner.
I want to just say like memes. I want to be like, yeah,
That's so depressing. But
It's
like,
depressing, but, like,
what do you include and not include in
Who
the
Dat
era?
Boy, It's
in the era where
Wednesday.
there's a meme like every week, though. What do you keep and what do you cut?
you do the big ones. You do the ones that get referenced on Snapchat filters. You do
Okay.
your damn Daniels.
Okay.
You do your Salt Bays.
Now-
Salt Bay would be in it.
Has there? Well, no. I think it depends. It depends what we're doing. Are we doing it in a world where there's been a disaster movie every year, or are we recapping like the last
I don't think it matters.
however many? Because if we're recapping the last however many, you need Gangnam Style, right? You need like there's so many things.
Well, no,
that you're
because
gonna,
there was-
you need Avatar.
There was 2013's Starving Games, which had Avatar
Okay,
in it.
that
and
should
then
have
there was
had Gangnam
2015's
Style then as well.
Yeah, probably. If not, then Super Fast.
Okay,
The Fast and
it
Furious
has.
parody.
Okay, the new one has Stranger Things.
We've
though.
had 4
2019
years.
has Stranger Things.
2015 and on. What do you parody? Star Wars.
Star Wars,
Marvel, DC, even Deadpool. Ugh.
Do you think there would be a Bird Box parody? Do you think there would be like
Yeah.
a woman? Because that's
Yeah.
like an iconic.
Yeah,
Like,
Quiet Place or Bird Box, or just like the fact that we have so many of these movies.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
The
yeah.
Silencer. Yeah, that's what it's called.
that is unacceptable for the record.
Apparently, it was already in production and such before Quiet
Yeah,
Place. was
yeah, you
even
can
a
tell
thing.
because they rolled that ish out on the quiet, pun intended.
Yeah. No,
like
it,
it's on Netflix
that
with
that
no
got dumped
fanfare.
on Netflix because Quiet Place came out and is definitely better.
Yeah,
To be fair, I haven't seen the other one.
this one's got Tooch.
Stan Tucci.
Yes.
Man, devil does wear Prada.
Um,
That A was easy.
he's so good in Easy A.
He's great in Easy A.
That's it.
Name one role where you're like, man, Stanley Tucci really dropped the ball.
Hunger
there.
Games, man.
I've never.
No,
seen
he's
Hunger-
awesome in Hunger Games.
Okay, sure. I've only seen Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and it's because I was in the cafeteria and I watched it on like a Sunday morning.
Okay, so what else would be?
Oh,
I
shucks.
think that there would be a Jurassic World as not
Yeah.
relevant as it is. There would be like a Chris Pratt character on
Hey,
a
dude.
motorcycle with raptors.
Fallen Kingdom made $1.3 billion. It's relevant. Yeah, isn't that an upsetting statistic? Yeah, can everybody hear him breathing?
What else? Like Bohemian Rhapsody. Do you think there'd be like a Freddie
music
Mercury?
biopics? Because we're about to get a flood of them.
But I think even more specifically to
yeah,
Freddie Mercury.
no, yeah, Freddie
and he'd
Mercury.
be like,
yeah.
he's gay. That'd be the joke.
Look at his teeth.
Yep. Yeah, you
Big
have like
chompers.
Austin
He
Powers.
just eats really big things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even that's
Eats Thanos' ass.
what?
Let's cut it. Let's cut it. We're done. Thanks, everybody.
You just fired on all cylinders for no reason. What are you talking about?
I want to thank everybody for listening today. It was good. Kind of.
The last one. Green Book my ass.
Instead of Mahershala Ali, it's the midget.
Still with an Indiana Jones hat for some reason.
In the whip.
Green Book my ass. All right, I think that's our show for this week.
That settles it.